Back at it again, and oh boy, sounds like Miss Fani McFanny is getting in a little trouble McTrouble. Like, share, comment, and hit that subscribe button if you are new. If you would like to help me out even further with this YouTube algorithm too, watch this video to the very end. It helps out tremendously. Before we hop into it though, shout out to Dr. Steve Turley. I'll leave the original link down below. And let's dive in.
The ultra-leftist activist disguised as Fulton County DA, Fani Willis, just got some really bad news. We're going to take a look at the latest with her fledgling case against President Trump, and we're going to see why even the liberal media is starting to panic here about what's really happening in the state of Georgia. You're going to absolutely love this. Greetings, everyone. It is me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you think better so you can feel better in these crazy and turbulent times. So if you haven't already done so, you know what to do. Make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. And if you would, it would be an honor if you could share this video with friends and family. We are once again being suppressed by big tech, so I need your help to get the hopeful message of this channel out to as many people as possible. Now,
yes, go show some love to Dr. Steve Turley, man. Shout out to Steve Turley.
Many of you have heard of the latest, shall we say, setback for the prosecution of President Trump in Fulton County. The judge presiding over the proceedings, Judge Scott McAfee, has ruled that President Trump will not be obliged to face trial in October alongside co-defendants Kenneth Chesebro and Sidney Powell, both of whom filed for a speedy trial. This was a blow to Fani Willis because she wanted to try all 19 defendants together. ABC News admitted in a tweet that this was not what Fani Willis wanted. Quote, Fani Willis wasn't there, but you got to imagine she's throwing things against the wall based on this hearing. Great win for Donald Trump and others that did not want to be part of the speedy trial case. So that was certainly a big win for Trump. He's in the process, of course, along with Mark Meadows, his former chief of staff. They're both filing to have the case removed from state court to federal court on the grounds that this case targets their actions as federal officials. The operative principle there is that federal officials can't be targeted under state laws for actions they took in their official capacity as federal officials. This is part of the federalist system in which certain issues are reserved for states and others for the federal government to handle. And here's the key. In the past, whenever federal courts intervene, in every single instance, when the removal was granted, when the case was taken from local prosecutors to federal prosecutors, the case always got dismissed. So that's why a number of legal scholars don't think this case will even ever see the light of day. A number of these defendants have already petitioned for the case to be removed from the local courts to the federal courts. And whenever that's granted, historically, the case is thrown out. But something else is happening here that promises to be perhaps even more momentous than any particular pathetic Fulton County case that'll have no chance of withstanding judicial review. Public sentiment, particularly in the state of Georgia.
Listen close to this. This might shock you a little bit. Prepare yourself.
Is turning rapid. Public sentiment, particularly in the state of Georgia, is turning rapidly and overwhelmingly against this whole weaponized lawfare circus. A recent Rasmussen survey found that nearly 60% of likely Georgia voters believe that Willis is unfairly prosecuting Trump. Moreover, 53% of Georgia voters support calling a special session of the legislature to prevent Willis from bringing charges against Trump. And that is
a majority are saying stop the madness. End it now. Oh boy.
Animating a surge in calls among Georgia lawmakers to stop Fani Willis in her tracks and crush this prosecution once and for all.
Remember I told you guys to make some phone calls to your political leaders? Political leaders. You know, I put that in air quotations because they're not really leaders. You saw there. The stuff can, hey, it can work. It can work. Okay? So make them phone calls, baby. If you are unhappy with your elected political leader, make a phone call. Make a phone call every day. It takes 5 minutes of your time. Really less than that. 60 seconds of your time. You can leave a quick voicemail. If they actually answer, then, hey, even better. Even better. Give them an earful. Let them know how you really feel. Okay? Because this stuff is getting out of hand. Out of hand.
And it's got the leftist woke media panicked. Wait until you see this. NPR just published a rather panicked piece on how the calls for a special legislative session to deal decisively with Fani Willis are growing louder and louder by the day. The growing effort is being led by Georgia State Representative Colton Moore, who's calling for the state government to cut funds off from the Fulton County DA's office and begin impeachment hearings on Fani Willis to discover just how far the weaponization of Georgia's legal system has gone. Now, the repulsive
guys like him, they're true Republicans. These are the types of people that we need in office. 100%. 100%.
far the weaponization of Georgia's legal system has gone. Now, the repulsive rhino governor, Brian Kemp, who thinks the 2020 election was the most pristine election ever in the history of humanity, he's, of course, pushing back against these impeachment efforts. I mean, after all, who needs Democrats when you have such loyal, spineless rhinos? And on top of that fecklessness, you also have the Georgia Attorney General Chris Carr, again, another Republican, who's refusing to step in and get involved in the motion that was filed to remove the case from state court to federal court, even though Georgia state law requires the Attorney General to be involved in any state criminal case that could be removed to federal court. We talked about this before in a couple of other videos, but a Republican Attorney General in Georgia could shut this circus down this very second, but he refuses to do so. And it's all because these feckless rhino establishment hacks, they're all in on it. They want Trump indicted. They want Trump taken out. But it's all ultimately to no avail. Even Newsweek is admitting that Trump is
Hey, listen, but before he gets to that news there, remember all of these people. Remember all of these people next election. Every single one. As a matter of fact, I may make a video on every single one of them. You know, a compilation video of all of the rhinos, you know, or Republicans, right, that aren't really Republicans or don't seem to be, at least. Would you guys be interested in something like that? Should I make a compilation video of, you know, the Mitch McConnells and why am I forgetting the name of the Georgia's governor? I'll do all the governors, you know, the Senate, the House, right? All of these rhinos, and compile them into one video so everybody knows exactly who they are, and maybe even like put, you know, when they're up for re-election on the screen as well, or something like that. I think that would be a great video, but y'all let me know in the comment section. I think the people deserve to know. And of course, you know, that video wouldn't be to physically harm them in any type of way. Make no mistake about it. I don't want my words to be twisted up and minced. I know how things are these days. It's just so that Republican voters know what Republicans are voting against, how we feel. Now, maybe I'm a one of one Republican voter. You know, maybe I don't. Obviously, I know I don't speak for everyone, right? We all have our own, you know, brains and think for ourselves. But I would like to believe that, you know, my thoughts and my beliefs are in line with what I feel is a true Republican Party, and what I feel is the true Republican Party is the Freedom Caucus. Do you guys agree, disagree? Man, I need to make a poll. As a matter of fact, I think I will make a poll, because I want to really gauge how you guys are truly feeling. Obviously, I read through the comment section. I'm sure you guys have seen me liking your comment in the comment section. I can't reply to everyone because there's thousands of you. It would literally take me forever to get through it. I wouldn't be able to get to as many, so I just skim through. I read it, you know. But anyway, I may make a poll under the community tab right here on the channel. So if you scroll over, you know, on the main page at the top, you'll see where it says community. There may be a poll there, if I remember to put it up, on what you feel is the true Republican, the Freedom Caucus or the rest of them, right? Because I feel like that's the separating line, the Freedom Caucus, and then there's the rest. But y'all let me know how y'all feel. All right.
But it's all ultimately to no avail. Even Newsweek is admitting that Trump is crushing Biden in the polls in Georgia. Were the election held today, he would stomp Biden way beyond the margin of fraud. All of this weaponized legalism and all of this rhino establishment cooperation with that weaponized legalism really seems to be doing nothing more than growing Trump's support rather than stifling it. So all of that means ultimately that while Fani Willis's case may eventually crumble by way of judicial review, the bell appears to be tolling for the whole of Georgia's corrupt system as 2024 approaches.
Wow. So once again, big shout out to Dr. Steve Turley. Make sure you guys go show the brother some love. But I'm like I said before, I'm really happy that, a lot of this stuff is going on, because it's really opening a lot of people's eyes to the truth. It really is. For example, when Trump was going to Georgia and he was being transported via the motorcade through Georgia, and you saw all of the black people lining the side of the road. I showed you guys the clip, cheering on Donald Trump. If I would have told you 4 years ago that there's going to be black people lined up on the streets cheering on Donald Trump, you probably wouldn't have believed me. You probably would have said, nah, Rich, I rock with your videos, but you're kind of losing me there. I doubt that's going to happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it did happen. And I had the evidence to show you, right? This isn't just me talking out of the side of my neck. I showed you the clip. It went absolutely viral, the clip, right? So this whole thing is completely shifting because of this stuff right here. These indictments, these terrible BS indictments. And like I said before, there may be another one. And I hope there is. Because it just proves how much BS is going on, in my humble opinion. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Y'all let me know in the comment section. I'm just a guy who makes YouTube videos, right? This is just my humble opinion. But from what I've been seeing and reading and the videos I've showed you guys, Trump's not going to lose. And the left knows it, right? And the rhinos know it as well. And they know they're in for a whirlwind. They're in for something the likes of which they've never seen before. Because trust me when I tell you, when Trump gets back in office, oh boy, talk about a bull in a china shop. And the crazy part about it is he's not going to get he's going to get pushback from, far leftist Democrats. But I've got video evidence of even black people saying, I expect him to. And I would do the same thing. Go after all of these folks. I'm thinking of a video right now where the guy was like, what? You don't expect Trump to spin the block? To spin back? To double back on you? Oh, come on. He's going to, right? Like cheering him on, basically. And, it is going to be spectacular to watch it all happen, to watch the corruptness get arrested and thrown in jail and get this country really back on track in, 20, 30 years from now, to look back on this time period and say, whew, we came pretty close to it all collapsing. We came close to it all falling apart. They tried and they failed miserably. I can't wait for that moment. And it's coming. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.